Tinubu bans importation of foreign goods by government agencies in major push for local content, in a bold move aimed at revitalizing Nigeria's economy and championing homegrown industries. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has officially banned all ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, of the federal government from purchasing foreign goods and services that are readily available within the country. This sweeping directive is part of a larger policy initiative known as the Renewed Hope Nigeria First policy. According to the president, the new policy is designed to promote local content, empower Nigerian producers, and keep government spending within the domestic economy. Under this framework, any MDA wishing to import foreign goods or contract foreign services must now obtain a written waiver from the Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, a process that is expected to be rigorous and restrictive. Major policy shift: Nigeria First announcing the decision at the conclusion of the 5th Federal Executive Council (FEC) meeting in 2025, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described the policy as a landmark shift in Nigeria's approach to governance, procurement, and economic development. This is a decisive moment in our national journey. The Renewed Hope Nigeria First policy is about more than just economics. It's a cultural and ideological reawakening, Idris said, while briefing State House correspondents at the presidential villa in Abuja. He noted that the policy is aligned with President Tinubu's vision of a self-sufficient, resilient, and proudly Nigerian economy, drawing comparisons to the America First doctrine adopted by former U.S. President Donald Trump, which emphasized domestic industry protection and prioritizing national interests in procurement and trade decisions. What we are trying to do here is to ensure that every Naira the government spends works for the Nigerian people, Idris emphasized. It's about channeling government investments back into our economy, supporting Nigerian farmers, manufacturers, engineers, and service providers. Objectives of the policy: the Renewed Hope Nigeria. First policy is underpinned by several key objectives: stimulating local production. By ensuring that government MDAs buy goods and services locally, the policy aims to increase demand for Nigerian-made products, thereby boosting domestic production across sectors. Creating jobs: greater investment in local businesses is expected to create employment opportunities, particularly for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, that have long struggled to compete with imported alternatives. Reducing foreign dependence. The policy seeks to reduce Nigeria's over-reliance on foreign imports, which has contributed to trade deficits and foreign exchange pressures. Promoting economic patriotism. By encouraging a sense of national pride in Nigerian goods and services, the government hopes to change the consumer mindset and normalize the preference for local options. Ensuring strategic economic security. With geopolitical instability and global supply chain vulnerabilities, promoting self-reliance in critical sectors is becoming an increasingly strategic imperative. Implementation and oversight to prevent abuse and ensure compliance. The president has mandated that no MDA is to engage foreign suppliers or contractors without a clearly justified exemption approved by the Bureau of Public Procurement. The BPP will assess such requests on strict criteria, including availability, quality, and strategic necessity. The government also plans to establish a local content compliance monitoring unit, which will operate under the supervision of the Ministry of Budget and Planning and the Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment. Additionally, there are indications that similar policies may soon be extended to state and local governments, particularly in procurement-related activities tied to federal funding. Reactions and economic implications. While the policy has received praise from local manufacturers and advocacy groups pushing for industrialization, some stakeholders have expressed concern over implementation challenges, especially given the historical issues of capacity and quality control within some local industries. However, proponents argue that this is precisely why the policy is necessary: to incentivize improvement and investment in local capacity and ensure Nigeria is no longer a dumping ground for foreign goods. Economic analysts also believe that, if properly enforced, the policy could reduce Nigeria's import bill, strengthen the Naira, and foster a more resilient economic ecosystem, particularly in the face of fluctuating oil revenues and global economic uncertainties. This is a courageous move by President Tinubu, said Dr. Ifeanyi Nwosu, a Lagos-based economist. It signals a commitment to long-term structural change, though it will require strong institutional discipline to avoid loopholes, culturals. shift in public spending. The Minister of Information emphasized that beyond bureaucratic change, this initiative represents a cultural transformation in how Nigeria views development. This is about boldness, confidence, and a belief in the Nigerian spirit, Idris concluded. We are telling the world and ourselves that Nigeria can produce, Nigeria can serve, and Nigeria deserves to be first in its own policies. As the policy takes effect, MDAs are now expected to audit their procurement practices and align fully with the new directive. A compliance report system will be introduced in coming months to track progress.